live at Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, bringing you the best in real Texas barbecue. This is Sooner Sports Talk on the Sooner Sports Network from Learfield.
Throw ahead to Nigel Pack, open for three in the tie. Got it! Back to Brown up top, three ball, Xavier, bam! Big one!
Chavez right wing will fire a three. It's a swish. Aaliyah Chavez with her first three. Chavez underneath Williams is wide open. Sahara goes up and scores. Good ball movement, and Sahara Williams finished it.
Sooner Sports Talk is brought to you by Dos Equis, official import beer of OU Athletics. Go for Dos. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly.
Beer's got a hand on it. Verhulst ahead to Williams. It's a 2-on-1 with Reagan. Reagan goes in. Left side layup is good.
Pack, Forsyth corner, three ball. Got it!
This is Sooner Sports Talk.
All right, welcome back to Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. We're live with Sooner Sports Talk. Please join me in welcoming in the 4 seed in I get confused, Region 2, Sacramento, Region 4?
Yep.
Works for me.
I don't know either.
Jenny Baranczyk, ladies and gentlemen, is here. Hey, what's most...
I know it is kind of confusing now that we only have the 2 regional sites, so it's a little bit different than
Region 1, Region 2, Region 3, Region 4,
yes, 2 Sacramento, yes.
Fort Worth. Did you guys think you were going to get a Fort Worth path or no? Like, in other words, did you think there was a chance that the Sweet 16 game could have been in Fort Worth instead of Sacramento?
Obviously, we were hopeful for that. There's no question that you hope, and you hope that you win every game too. So that's nice. But no, I mean, you are excited to be able to play in Norman, and I think you just never take that for granted. And you just, it's so fun to be able to see your name up there, and then it's really fun to be able to see the young players in that experience, because you kind of watch it different than what the public watches it, right? And so it's like you're kind of because they record you, and so you have a different link into it, and so they're constantly waiting, and we
you always
really
have a camera in your
and
face.
There's always cameras everywhere. Clearly, I've definitely learned that lesson this year. Yeah, which is so awesome. I know. But thank you for laughing so hard at that.
It's because I love you, and I think it's the best thing ever.
Oh, I'm glad you do.
The self-awareness
My dad's
of it.
here, so let's be careful.
Yeah, we'll watch our language tonight, Pops. I promise. But with that in mind, you said it. It never gets old. You see your name pop up, even from back in the day when you're at Drake, and even when you were a player at Iowa. What's that moment like?
It's surreal. It's really, especially when you look at the freshmen, because we as coaches, we go to then you got to plan, and then you're planning and you're planning and you're planning, and we got to go scout, and you dive into all the film and all the things. But just that magical moment is really, it's just awesome. It just really is to be able to watch it. But there's no better feeling.
Do you feel out of bracket?
I do not.
You don't? The scout?
I do not. I believe he does. I believe my
the kids.
They do. I'm sure Hope picks for mascots, maybe.
Oh, does she?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. So, or best concession stand. That might be something else. But no, I mean, our family does, and I have a nephew that kind of makes sure everybody's on point and has all the passwords and all the things. But no, I don't do any of that. Well, I don't even look at it. To be honest.
That's what I was going to ask, because we talked about this a little bit last night. Name dropper. Coach and I were on XM together, and you don't get too carried away looking ahead, but you delegated amongst the staff. How do you guys kind of chop it up?
Well, I mean, obviously we have, you have a pretty big staff, and so we all are so excited about the moment, and everybody has to know a little bit. The hard part and the really cool part is we didn't know Idaho.
Right.
You didn't know them. You didn't know anything about them, and so now, I mean, you knew they were good. You knew they won their tournament. You stay up to date enough, but you don't really know, and so you've been playing these teams, that it's the SEC obviously is just incredibly brutal, and so then you kind of play the whole year like that. And so for the first game, you have a couple coaches you're assigned to this game, and then you look at the next games, and then you just kind of try to look ahead, but you really focus on that first game. And so everybody has to understand it's one game at a time. And so everybody has different parts of what you look at. Some people look at, personnel. Some people look at baseline outs. Some people look at their man offense or their zone offense or, that kind of thing. And so we kind of break it down a little bit like that too, so that everybody has kind of a hand on it and can have really good discussion for it.
What have you seen from Idaho so far? What's caught your eye?
Well, I mean, obviously they've done a great job. I mean, they really have, and they've been able to, have a great offense, great balance in their scoring. They can shoot the ball, they can move the ball, and there's a lot that you have to be ready for that you haven't seen. We've seen a lot of ball screen isolation play, and now you're watching a team that can drive at you, that can shoot, that can pass, that can screen, and so it's just a little bit different style, but it's one that kind of excites your team too.
You have been somebody that is unapologetically fast in the way that this team plays. They get out, they're gonna push you on the break. They
get up and down too, by the way.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask.
This will be a really fun, from a pace standpoint, this is a team that gets up and down. They have really high outlets and they go. So it's going to be a really fun basketball game.
How challenging can that pace, that frenetic pace, be in a quick turnaround for teams when you're preparing for it? You've prepared against it. Now you run an offense that makes, I think it's as challenging to prepare for as anything. If you're not a team that plays with a lot of pace, and boom, you're going up against, essentially like an air raid attack right now.
Well, I think that's the interesting thing is, playing in the SEC, we've gotten to be able to play a lot of different styles of play in different systems. And so you look at that and then you hope that that's something you have something that's a little unique that people have to prepare for. That's the fun part about playing in different styles, is that you want to be able to have just enough things that people have to really focus on that they can't focus on everything, and you don't want to be the team that, oh, this is what everybody does, this is the offense everybody runs. You want to be able to see multiple things. And so I think that's something that's unique about our team, is that our balance is unique, our style is different, and we're pretty versatile in the way that we have won games. There have been different ways that we've done that, and I'd like it to be a little more consistent, obviously, from the three-point line. That's something that we would like, but we can shoot the three. But then you have Reagan Beers on the interior, you have Sahara Williams, that's just a matchup nightmare. And then you look at Peyton Verholz, too, has incredible off-ball movement. So, and that's not even mentioning, Zaya Van and Aaliyah Chavez at the point guard position that really are our tone setters. What
was the experience like for you guys at the SEC tournament? I know that you always want to stay longer, but it seemed like you guys were challenged. You were forced to play in a lot of different kind of styles and from a lot of different places on the scoreboard.
Yeah, no, I think there were moments that I loved the balance in our first game, and Florida's a good team, and we just played Florida, and there were some really good takeaways from that game. And honestly, we had really good moments in our game against LSU. They came out on fire. I thought we really studied that storm. I didn't love how we finished, obviously, and there's things that you look in the mirror, but we're really good when we play together as a team. We're really good when we set each other up. When we play team defense, we're really, really good. In that game, they got us, they rattled us, and our wheels fell off instead of being able to stay together. And sometimes when you have that, then you have multiple people that really try to go and fix it. And we're very, very well intentioned, but we have to be better just in terms of just being a better team in those types of situations, especially when you're playing an LSU who's very talented, but also just shot the lights out. And I know part of that is our defense was not there and not great. But the other part is they're very, very elite in that, and you have to be able to handle that, and we weren't able to handle it.
I still feel like it's a challenge whenever people are like, oh, is that a veteran team? And I naturally want to say yes. And then at senior night, there's 3 seniors. But then you add Sahara Williams in it, who's been a regular, and Zaya Vance had a year. But I think what's still kind of eye-opening is just how much youth and experience you do have, Coach. There's still a lot of people that even with the solid veteran core, it's still, in a lot of ways, a relatively young team, isn't it?
Well, I mean, this is half of our team. It's their first NCAA tournament. So, yeah, I mean, we are young in terms of that. But I also think there's an element of being able to grow with a team, and you want to be able to, you look at what we were able to do a year ago and had all these fifth-year seniors stay, and there's going to be some, players that you get that transfer in that have been high-impact players. Obviously, we have really benefited from that. But we've also really been able to benefit from young people that have come and gained really good game experience as freshmen and then grown into sophomores, and then they grow into juniors. And so you look at that class even that we graduated a year ago, and you take like a Skylar Van, a Liz Scott, you look at those guys, a Nevaeh Tot, and what they were able to do and see in their whole time here is absolutely incredible. And then you mix it with these other great players that are also great people that really enhance your culture. But culture sometimes we take on and we say it's that they're nice. But, being coachable is you listen and you don't yell back if you get yelled at as a coach. But the coachability piece and the culture piece is loving where you are and loving the process, even when the outcomes aren't necessarily what you want them to be, or even when you fall down, you just get up. But those are the things that you want our players to fall in love with, and you need to build that with players that are wanting to come here and be part of Oklahoma for their entire experience. But we've got to give them that experience then as freshmen, because most of the time we don't want to do that. We don't want that. We just want the experience as coaches, because trust me, it's way easier to coach that experience than it is to be able to teach that experience. But for the long game, it's going to be amazing to see what those young players what they're going to do in their future because of what they've gotten to go through this year as freshmen.
I want to continue on that when we come back. Got a quick break. Jenny Baranczyk is with us now. Make your plans now. Friday night, 9 o'clock.
Yep.
A little later, late night in the LNC.
You got no excuses. Who has anything to do at 9 o'clock on Friday?
Nothing. You're going to be in bed.
One.
Now you're going to stay up late on Friday night. We'll talk about the matchup with Idaho when we come back. You're watching Sooner Sports Talk.
Sooner Sports Talk is brought to you by Bob Moore Ford, official sponsor of the Patriot of the Game. Riverwind Casino, the official entertainment destination of OU Athletics. Walden Cleaners and Laundry, where the difference is quality. Love's, the heart of the highway.
We know we need fans there. It needs to be loud. It needs to be crazy. And March Madness starts right here in Norman. Let's go, Coach. Friday night, 9 o'clock. We're fired up. We need a great crowd out there.
We do need a great crowd. How about that video?
Yeah, it got me kind of juiced. I'm not going to lie.
We tried to make it. I don't know if I can be that cinematic.
You don't have to
dang,
be. You just have to sell us on the excitement of getting a nap in on Friday more than anything.
That's right. That's right. No, I mean, honestly, it's March Madness. And
right.
How amazing that we get to host the men's tournament, the women's tournament here. Obviously the men's tournament's in Oklahoma City, but for us to be able to really, be basketball all the time right now is so good that's what we've tried to grow here. We've tried to make sure that in Oklahoma, we want these young boys and girls to have really big dreams. And so you're going to be able to see some really good teams. And obviously we just want to fill it. We want it just to continue to get better. And I think, I don't ever want us to take hosting for granted. And our world it's a cutthroat world, and it's a hard world. Women's basketball, especially in our league. So to be able to earn that is really important. And now we just need to make sure that we're ready, and we're going to do everything we can for you. But we need to make sure that we're doing it with you too.
I think that's a pretty good look ahead of the upcoming Sooner schedule, presented by One Oklahoma, powered by Sooner Sports Properties, Fan Field, Athlete Focus. It'll be 9 o'clock on Friday night for Oklahoma and Idaho. The Michigan State game will be prior to that. And then what we're again, not assuming anything, right? But you are in that TBD mode for the Sunday game. But you're pigeonhole focused, right? Take care of one and then worry about the second game when it gets there.
Yeah, so you can ask. But I probably won't respond.
I can ask, well, what time you think Sunday? How you feeling about things? Don't care. I got to win. I got to take care of business.
And you don't know.
Right.
You don't know. You find out after the game what time that game is. So we don't know. We wouldn't know what time the game is on Sunday anyway.
Okay.
And so you really do get to just focus on what's at hand, and trust me, we will have enough that we need to focus on with Idaho to keep our minds there.
I know there's been some high highs this year, but am I crazy if I say I still feel like the best is ahead? of this team? I feel like I say that every week.
Question. No, I think you're absolutely right. I think we've seen glimpses of our balance and us playing together and having a smile on our face. I think we've really tried to work really hard, and but now is the time of the year that the magic happens and you just play, and I'm excited for that. I'm excited for the week that we had last week, that we got to really focus on practice and getting better. And I tell you what, they really stepped in there and worked hard. And it was fun to be able to be part of those practices. Now I had to step into some. That part's not as fun. I don't know what's worse, when you score on them or when you don't.
So you had to actually get out there and play the post?
Yeah, and I was trying to get Markeisha Wright was stepping in on the post, and I'm pretty sure she had Reagan sealed. So Reagan's not here to defend herself, so I can say that. Now with Keish, you got to like hit her hand, like you got to throw it on her hand, or we're not getting any points, right? And so I like drive in, and I'm at the high post, and my shoe, because I was wearing tennis shoes. I don't put basketball shoes on, right? Because I just don't do that. I don't need to do that. And so I step in, and the back of my shoe, you know how like it can come off?
Yeah.
And so I'm like trying to pass to Keish, and my shoe comes off, and Brooklyn Stewart's guarding me. And she's like, oh my gosh. I said, my shoe. And so I'm like, putting my heel down, and I'm holding it. And she goes, oh, it's okay. It's fine. And I was like, don't say that. Rip the ball out of my damn hands. Like, what is happening? I'm like, this is March right now. And she's like, okay, you're right. And she's, moving her hair back. And I'm like,
listen,
oh my God, so they're still freshmen.
Yeah, exactly. I appreciate the kindness of wanting my
me in like the first day of practice, and then now it's fine. It's totally fine. Like, thank you, but Brooklyn. That's not the point.
The freshman development, though, you hit on it earlier. It's so key, and I say freshman, youngster too, because that's truly the foundation, right? And that's what you want to continue to grow and build from.
Well, most improved player, I think, if we would have that award in the SEC, I think would have gone to Zia Vann this year.
She's great.
I mean, she has, and what she's grown in, obviously, you could talk about her statistics, and you could see that, and you could see her poison games, and she's hit some, pretty big shots for us, and she's just grown. But the daily, her daily process of showing up and learning and growing and falling down, and her failure recovery has been, I don't know if I've seen somebody grow that much in a year. And it's just incredible to be able to watch her just continue to want to get better. But I think when you get to play for your dream school with a lot of your friends, it's a pretty cool thing. So I know obviously last year she had her sister and her dad played here, but what's even more special is, as much as we love Bryant and as much as we love Skylar, we all know Zia now.
Yeah, that's true. She's made a name for herself, hasn't she?
She really has, and she'll continue to do that.
What's been the biggest key to her improvement? What have you seen that's really kind of jumped out when you watch the tape?
Oh, I think you mean like on court, like tangible, intangible.
Oh, well, let's do. We got 4.5 minutes left, so let's do both.
Okay. The tangible things you can see are, just the way that she has her presence on the floor. She can handle the ball. She can shoot the ball. She's hit really big shots for us. She can kind of create something out of nothing. She just does a really nice job. She just glides out there a lot of times, and she can read it. She can go against players that are bigger than her. She can go against players that are stronger. She's just finding and navigating that way. The intangible part is, I think she really struggled when she would make a mistake her freshman year, and that would shut her down, or she would carry it on to the next possession. And not that she doesn't still have some of that, because I think that's a work in progress for all of us, really. Right. But for her to be able to truly look at, she craves watching film and understanding angles. She craves getting better. She is in the gym every day working. And you can see that part. So that's what I mean, like the failure recovery piece. A lot of times people are afraid to make mistakes, or they worry about, always doing the right thing. And I think she can fall down, she can get up, she can go forward. There can be a game that in the first half she's, not really present. The second half she's finding ways to get herself involved in that game, where a year ago that could, if you have a play or two that go wrong, we can't necessarily get her back. And now it's not us trying to get her back. She's getting herself back. Like it's, so you can see those things. So for a sophomore to have that kind of growth has been really incredible. And I think she's also been really good at playing with and playing around really good players. And that's not always easy to do either.
And then, here we are. We're almost 30 minutes into our conversation, and we haven't had a conversation about Aaliyah. How did you see her handle her first SEC tournament and the countdown to Friday?
Well, I think, again, she's a player that has really grown, and I think, she would tell you herself there were some things that she really liked about that tournament to be able to step out there. And then there's some things that she'd like to have back, some possessions. But I think she's really finding that balance of, putting people in really good positions, really growing, how to get us all involved, and her leadership, her ability to communicate with her team has been an area that she's just going to continue to focus. So love the passion she plays with, love coaching her. She's such an easy person to want to coach. She wants to do all the right things and the things that go unnoticed too. So she's not just about shooting and scoring. She wants to guard. She's taking charges. She's talking to her team. She's engaged when she's in the game or out of the game or on the sideline in practice or in practice. She really does want the best for everybody.
Last week, or last time you were here, you brought Sahara Williams with you. And I think Sahara's leadership is something that I feel like I've really learned a lot about this year.
Yeah.
It seems like she's very comfortable in speaking her mind. Is that a fair way to put it?
Yeah, she's such an incredible presence, and she has such a gift of being able to use her voice and being able to step into a room and people notice her. She can't go anywhere and hide because she just has this really cool presence, and sometimes that's really challenging. We talked about that a couple weeks ago where, one of her growth moments this year is, well, if I don't show up, then we don't win. And it's like, yep.
Pretty much.
And if you want a different role, that's not the role that God's given you. So God's given you, a lot, and she has grown in her faith to be able to see that. She has grown in her leadership. She exudes joy, and there's moments where her faults and her areas to still grow are slowing down. And it's because she goes so hard and so fast and she wants it so bad and you can see it. And then there's moments that you can see that she's still going hard and fast, but the game is slowed down. So she's learning that. You've seen really good moments of that, and then you've seen moments where she can continue to learn that.
Good luck this weekend, Coach.
Appreciate you.
Reminder, everyone here, be there Friday night, 9 o'clock. This segment's been brought to you by Dos Equis, the official import beer of OU Athletics. Go for Dos. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. More of Sooner Sports Talk coming up next.
Sooner Sports Talk is brought to you by Sooner Kids Club. Log on to Soonersports.com/kids for information about joining the Kids Club presented by OG&E and brought to you in part by Devon Energy. We want to thank all of our Sooner Radio Network affiliates across the state and region. Fans can check out Soonersports.com for an affiliate in your area. And if you're traveling outside the state of Oklahoma, you can listen to all the action on either SiriusXM Radio or download the Varsity Network app and listen free. Dos Equis, the official import beer of OU Athletics. Go for Dos. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. One Oklahoma, powered by Sooner Sports Properties. Fan-fueled, athlete-focused. Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, bringing you the best in real Texas barbecue.
Welcome back to Sooner Sports Talk. There's times in life where you just push through the pain. Ladies and gentlemen, you better make some noise for our next guest, Gabe Ikard, who is battling the, I guess you could say, the wind,
the
sinus,
hurricane.
The hurricane.
Listen to this.
I think it sounds great.
Listen to this. That does sound better.
That does sound better, man.
I'll try to do that.
Welcome back home.
I sound like Chad McKee.
You do. You got a little McKee going with you.
Chad McKee.
You got to get a little lower for Chad if you're going to do it.
I can't. But you combine the hurricane winds yesterday.
Crazy.
And the weather change today. Apparently, I didn't handle it well.
Did you? So you drove 35 to get here. Did you see the makeshift light poles that are there holding up the electric?
Yeah, man. What was that weather yesterday?
I have no idea. So Sunday we had softball at noon yesterday. So I do my normal get up early, right?
I watched it, and that was Crazy.
It was 9 a.m. So the night, so that was Sunday. So Saturday night, the Norman National Weather Service had tweeted, hey, guys, be ready. It's going to be windy. Have grace for buses and 18-wheelers on the road. And I woke up, and it was awesome out. It wasn't blowing. The wind wasn't blowing. It's like it was gorgeous. I started to retweet and do the old takes exposed. And then literally, bro,
then
it's like everything turned in seconds. And
That's
it was
Oklahoma.
40-mile-an-hour winds.
That is Oklahoma.
But, hey, before we get into football, you had a chance to be out there on Saturday?
Yeah.
Saturday?
I had to go see the squad in person.
What'd you
First game
think?
of the season.
Kendall Wells is legit, isn't she?
Oh, my goodness. This is my expert opinion. She hit ball hard. My good. And it was – this is how you know she's so just talented. And I keep reminding myself she's just a true freshman.
Right.
She's already in what I call the Steph Curry zone.
Mm-hmm.
And you can put Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in it as well.
Yes, you can.
When Steph Curry shoots a three, you're shocked when it doesn't go in.
That's right.
When Shai Gilgeous-Alexander shoots a mid-range jumper, you are shocked when it doesn't go in. Like the amount of shots he missed at the Timberwolves game on Sunday, everyone's like, is he okay? When Wells doesn't hit a home run when she hits the ball, you're shocked. You're like, oh, she only just smoked it to the wall for a double. What's wrong? Is she okay?
Yeah, she
has entered that zone already as a true freshman. She is just incredibly talented. And the thing that stood out to me, I like to get out there in person to see how these athletes are built. And, man, she is a powerful athlete.
She is. Her and Alyssa Parker, I think, are going to hit a lot of home runs and make a lot of plays.
You think?
21 home runs already for Kendall Wells this season. But obviously, Gabe, you and Teddy have been cooking on the Oklahoma Breakdown. I know that as we get into spring ball, we're going to be excited to have you back here on the Huddle and Sooner Sports Talk. But you had a chance to sit down and spend about 45 minutes with head coach Brent Venables.
It was an hour and 7 minutes.
You spent an hour and 7 minutes with Brent Venables last Sunday.
And we just let that man roll.
He just went. I went. It was funny because I went back through and I was re-listening to it, and you had warned, hey, get your notebook out, get your pen and pad out.
He dropped so many things, right? I mean, just the excitement that he expressed about the team honestly got me more excited for the season. And I know the season is a ways off. We got a whole slate of spring ball to get through, all of summer workouts, all of training camp. We all know how important it is for the team to stay healthy through all that. That goes without saying.
Right.
He sounded different this time than he has in the past with the way that he talked about the roster, in my opinion. Now, I think the success of a season ago probably played a role in that, right? You're coming off a good season. You went to the college football playoff, didn't end the way you wanted it to, but it was pretty clear to me. One thing that I know the fan base will love is he thinks they're going to be a lot better on offense.
Yes.
Which we all know that was the weakness of our football team a season ago. So if we can be better or significantly better on offense, then we all know what the expectation is for Venables running that defense, and special teams became a big strength of the program a season ago. So, man, yeah, just listening to him talk about all the players, all the competition kind of up and down the roster, got my juices flowing. I know that.
Yeah.
Look, my voice is fixed. That's how excited I am.
That's because we're so pumped. The voice is working.
It's back. We are back, baby.
But then, you guys talked to him on Sunday. Then Coach Venables had a press conference a week ago. Today, we heard from Jim Nagy. And then one of the coolest things that I think Coach Venables has implemented is new coaches and all the newcomers
so good
spend time with the media. And, again, I'm giving kudos to the Oklahoma Breakdown with Eichert and Lehman because you said it, and I wanted to echo it here. It was an event on Monday that because of softball responsibilities, I wasn't able to go to. Right. But it's like I was there thanks to, our beat, thanks to the Oklahoma beat. So shout out to them. Did a great job.
I consume, my wife would probably tell you an unhealthy amount of college football content, but it's what I love. It's what I enjoy it. And the more content I consume for other programs, just checking in, I'm convinced that our reporters, the reporters that cover Oklahoma football are as good as anyone in the country.
Yeah, I agree.
I really believe that. And they do such a tremendous job, whether it's people in Tulsa, people in Oklahoma City, people in Norman. The level of coverage of this team is tremendous. And I want to thank Venables, Mike Houck, Jim Nagy, everyone that's involved in making those guys available, because I think it's important for the fan base to get to know all these new players. It's important for us to hear from them. And I know that the emotional attachment piece maybe isn't what it used to be, right? With all the movement with the portal. But I do think it connects the fans with the players when they can learn more about them, especially early in their career.
The segment is being brought to you by Riverwind Casino. Always a good time. And then we also had a chance, just real quick, before we wrap up our first segment with you, Gabe, is the coaches. And, I mean, there's still a part of me that's in shock that Jason Witten is now our tight ends coach.
Wait, what? No, it's
pretty cool.
I went out to Pro Day, and I saw him, and I was just sitting there like, should I introduce myself? What do I do? And I met him years ago.
Right.
In a social setting. He was with Romo. I was with some of the Cowboys guys that were in my draft class. And I was nervous then, and I'm still nervous. It's Jason freaking Witten. But it'll continue to feel more and more normal as time goes on. I loved what I heard from Rocky Beers, from Hayden Hansen, all these newcomers at the tight end spot. The stuff that they were saying about Witten when it comes to teaching them the little tricks of the trade of the tight end position. It seems pretty advantageous to learn from arguably the best ever at the position. Yeah. So it's just it feels like the overhaul of that tight end room. That is going to be significant for what we're going to be able to do in Bernard Buckle's offense.
Yeah, you can't help but get excited whenever you start seeing the Hayden Hurst, the Rocky Beers of the world, kid from Tennessee.
Hayden Hansen.
What did I say?
You said Hayden Hurst.
So we're getting the former Baltimore Raven tight end.
Listen, if we could acquire him, that would be great, because that dude was a baller.
Yeah, Hayden Hansen, thank you. And then
also a baller.
Yeah,
enormous. 3
new tight ends, and then you'll see what you get from the guys returning. All right, let's get a break, and when we come back, we'll talk more about some of Gabe's biggest questions heading into the spring football season. And the spring game is back. You're watching Sooner Sports Talk live from Rudy's.
OU's 2025-2026 women's basketball games are available on Ritmo 96.5 FM in Oklahoma City and 101.5 FM El Patron in Tulsa, as well as on those stations' websites. Each OU Spanish broadcast will feature a 15-minute pregame show and a 15-minute postgame show. Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, bringing you the best in real Texas barbecue. The Sooner Sports Podcast is your all-access audio pass to Sooner Sports. Listen as Toby Rowland and Chris Plank talk all things Sooners. Log on to Soonersports.com/podcast or search Sooner Sports Podcast in your favorite podcast provider. The Sooner Sports Podcast is presented by Allstate and Riverwind Casino.
Welcome back to Sooner Sports Talk. We're live from Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. Fun crowd tonight, guys. Thanks for hanging in there with us. This segment is brought to you by Mercy. Mercy, your life is our life's work. Gabe, you were front and center at Pro Day this week. Let's talk about some of the guys that helped themselves out a bit. How about Deion Burks? What'd you think of the day that he had on, when was that, Tuesday last week, whenever it took place?
I thought Thursday last week.
Thursday
last week. You got a lot going on right now.
Yeah, I know, right? Sorry, softball.
I thought his best stuff, and we all know you got to combine it with what he did at the NFL Combine, where he ran a 4.30 40.
Wow.
I thought he looked his best running routes. Now, I will fully admit, it could have had to do with something to do with him popping his top, popping the shorts off.
Uh-oh.
He went spandex only Plank.
Oh, no.
As it progressed.
Faster?
Apparently more aerodynamic. But there's only one way to say it. It's a good-looking 184. It's a good-looking 184. I thought that he looked explosive, sudden. He did have a few drops in the throwing session, but other than that, I thought Burks had a great day, man.
I did too. Right now, the projections are late second, early third for Deion. There is great debate amongst us draft dorks about the depth of the wide receiver class. I like it a lot. There could be as many as 4, maybe 5 wide receivers go in the first round. So obviously things looking good for Deion Burks to be a second-day draft pick.
Cheer for all the receivers to go early.
Go early. Yeah, exactly. And there is, I mean, I think they said, 6 receivers that have first-round grades, whomever's grading system that you want to go by. Grayson Holton is the best development story I think you can find. And, boy, ever since his performance at the Senior Bowl.
We've got it. Hold on. Look at this psycho bitch. He touches his chest like a couple times and then stops touching his chest. He's not touching his chest. That's crazy. I've never seen anyone in my life do that at the combine or at their pro day. That's insane. Do you have any idea how much harder that is than bouncing it off your chest? And he did 25. That's the most impressive 25 bench reps you're ever going to see. I would love to talk to G-Baby about it and be like, what were you doing, man? What was the strategy there? But it was something that Ted and I noticed as we were calling it.
Right.
And I guarantee you all the football people in that building went, wait. Is he not bouncing it off his chest? What's he doing? But it was a great way to prove, like, hey, I'm actually strong, 25 with only the first couple touching his chest. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's a guy that has such a unique skill set. I think, I don't know if it's going to be until day 3 for Grayson Holton.
I don't really know. The thing that really stands out about Grayson is his ability to rush the passer.
Yeah.
And typically, NFL teams want guys that can rush the passer. They want guys, whether you're an interior defensive lineman or an edge guy, if you can go get the quarterback, they want you on their football team, and they are willing to use an early draft pick on you. So it would not surprise me at all if he's a third-round guy.
Top 100 guy would be great, I think.
He did really well at the Combine, ran the 40 extremely well.
Senior Bowl was great.
Was a standout at the Senior Bowl. No one could block him, run game or in the one-on-one pass rush stuff. I think out of all of the guys, Grayson Holton is the Oklahoma Sooner that has helped himself the most since the season ended.
I think you're 100% right. You once said of Febechi Wiwu that he looks like he was made in an offensive guard lab.
Correct.
I think look at my memory, right?
Correct.
You make an impact on me, Gabe. I remember these things. It seems as if he's having himself a really good draft prep and even doing some more work at center too, or do you see him sticking at guard? How was his pro day?
You know me.
You love the center.
I love a center. And he is they did a bunch of center drills. One of the things about Febechi, he ran 5.35, but it looked really good. It looked really smooth. The knee drive, the arm drive, there was nothing lumbering about it. If you were in the building, I don't think anyone went, oh, that guy doesn't look like he's athletic enough to play interior offensive line in the NFL. And then for him to rip off 29 of bench reps with a 34 1/4 inch arm.
Look at that.
That isn't, see how he's bouncing it off his chest? Compare that to what Grayson Holton was doing, just insanity. But Febechi, I thought that was a fantastic bench press number for him. 29 with his arm length shows some serious strength. And then I thought he physically looked fantastic. It's as lean as we've seen him look. It's got super long arms, a tapered waist, and then just massive legs. I think, and I know that, I have my bias, but I think there's going to be multiple teams that view him as a starting center, as a rookie.
Wow.
I think there are several teams out there that are going, oh, man, I hope 54 from Oklahoma falls. We're going to grab him. We're going to grab him in the 4th. I'm not sure if he's going to last that long.
That's the third-day pick. I think Gabe's on to something. I think he could be the second-day pick. We only got about a minute left, but we have some shots cooked up of Jay Knott, who is –
my goodness, what a day.
Right? Hadn't had the best season at Oklahoma, but his draft prep has been great.
We've talked about that for months.
Yeah.
Right? I think we've said all we needed to say about that. But the bottom line is Jaydn Ott had one opportunity to show the type of athlete he is to the NFL community, and he nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. Mid 4.4 40, 40.5-inch vert, 10.11 broad. I believe the broad would have been tied for first at the combine. Vert would have been second for running backs at the combine. He was excellent. The guy's clearly a big-time athlete. Now, the NFL teams are going to look at all those numbers and go, well, what happened?
Where were you last year? Yeah.
And that is the type of stuff that Jaydn Ott's going to have to talk about when he meets with teams. I'm sure he had to talk a lot about that at the Senior Bowl. Did not get a combine invite, which was interesting. But he met with the media afterwards, and I thought he said all the right things.
I did too. You know what the sign of a great warrior is being at your best even when you're not 100%. Gabe Ikard, ladies and gentlemen, way to come and battle through, man. We appreciate it.
That
Thanks
cough drop you gave me
money, right?
Dude.
Super secret cough drop.
Oh
hey, this
gosh.
segment's been brought to you by Mercy. Your life is our life's work. We'll wrap it up next.
Our OU Community Outreach Partners, Fowler Auto Group, OU Health, OG&E, and Coca-Cola. Sooner Sports Talk is brought to you by OU Fan Shop. The best place to gear up for game day is shop.soonersports.com.
Our final segment, as always, is brought to you by Love's Travel Stops. Love's Travel Stops is the heart of the highway. And shout out to our good friends at O'Connor. Whether it's a long weekend or a special occasion, make your next vacation iconic. Make it O'Connor Resort, where it's always 82 degrees and sunny inside. Take 25% off your next stay with the code OUOKC. Book it now at O'ConnorResort.com. There it is, Friday night inside the Lloyd Noble Center. Can't wait to see you all as Oklahoma kicks off its NCAA tournament run against Idaho. Fit that nap in, 9 o'clock. Go to Soonersports.com/tickets to be there. Thanks to Jacob Potter. Thanks to you guys for watching. Boomer Sooner, everybody.
Live at Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, Sooner Sports Talk has been brought to you by Dos Equis, official import beer of OU Athletics. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. And by Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, bringing you the best in real Texas barbecue. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Sooner Sports Network.